TVC 22, Clarence Rockland. I'm here in the home of the Whitaker family, whom so many of us associate with the Clarence Creek Skating Club. I imagine many of the viewers associate them with some other things, particularly those of you who go to school with these young lads. Zachary, Samuel, and Xavier, and their sister Francesca, and Mom and Dad, Supremo, Natalie and Steve. Natalie and Steve Whitaker, thank you so much for having us all in your home, because everybody's in your home right now.
Thank you for having us.
I found out about you through a friend who started her daughter in Kansgate, and I was there on one of her first lessons and saw her tumbling around. That was 2 years ago, and today, well, this year, last weekend, I saw her performing in your year-end performance, and it was amazing, amazing. And I had the opportunity to watch all of you, because this family is not only a family of skaters, but it's also a family of instructors, teachers, every one of them. And the sweetness and the warmth with which you give these lessons is not something that I would have ordinarily associated with a skating club, which most of us associate with strict discipline and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And yet all I got from the sessions was a sense of fun and relaxation. So somewhere along the way you guys must have learned this, and I'm very curious to find out how you learned it and how you managed to pass it on to these four, well, those three ragamuffins and Francesca. So where did it all start? Was it with you, Natalie?
Well, I started skating back when I was 5 years old. My mom was part of the executive committee organizing the club, and she was also on the ice helping out with the little ones in the groups. And I started helping out when I was old enough to, and then at 17 I went and got my certification to start coaching.
And Steve, you tumbled into this family somehow?
Yeah, because I come from Southern Ontario, so I moved up here, university, and I ran into Natalie at an arena. And then from there, she brought me down to Clarence to start partnering, and then I started coaching. So I did coaching for about 10 years before we had too many kids. And it was just too awkward trying to balance off getting the kids there and being obligated to being on the ice to coach properly. So I gave up coaching and I became a judge. So I judged so I can have my time free to spend more time with the kids on the ice.
Oh, well, that's another part of the story that I want to touch on, is how you manage to balance what you're doing on the ice with all of those kids with what you're doing at home with these kids. Because you may take it for granted after all these years, but what you're doing here, keeping a family operation going, which is what it is, it's a family business, is something that once upon a time happened on farms, but is very seldom seen anywhere anymore. It's really quite amazing to see that it can work in today's world. And you probably don't have a formula, you just have
At first it was, Mom, you're babysitting, and then it was the sister-in-law, and then after a little while trying to drop two, it was a little bit too much to drop two twins.
Yeah.
So he had to give up coaching and take care of the
kids. Now, did you find it amazing that all four of your children had a talent for skating?
Well,
I don't know that we gave them a choice with it, to be honest.
You didn't give them a
We brought
choice?
them to the arena because we were there so much. They didn't really have much of a choice. Francisca, from probably as soon as she could learn how to walk, was always in the arena with us. So she was on the ice when she was 3.5, because it was easier to watch her on the ice than it was to watch her running around the ice.
Well, and you just picked it up. It was what you did.
Yeah.
Some people walk, some you
Yeah.
skated. Yeah. And then you watched your parents and the other instructors teach, and you picked that up too?
Yeah. When I turned 16, I went and got my teaching certification.
Oh, so you do need a teaching certificate?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, at 16 you're allowed to start, not before.
So you guys aren't 16 yet, so
No.
how do you get on the ice?
they're called helpers,
Okay.
and Zach is called a program assistant.
Okay.
You need to be at least 12 years old with your prelim free skate
All right.
to be able to be a program assistant.
Uh-huh.
That is to sort of animate a group, take care of a group. The twins are the helpers. They're the ones who go fetch our markers and go fetch our cones and
And fetch kids. I
Yes.
was wondering
Yes. This kid is in the wrong group, bring him to the right group. So yeah, they are the ones who bring everybody to where they're supposed to be. And if one is on the ice that has fallen, then they go and help him get up.
I find it so sweet to see that. I mean, there's this little bundle, and the parents must be so reassured to know that their kid's not going to be just left there to cry, that immediately there's somebody there to look after them.
Well, we try to do our best. It's not easy when there's 3 or 4 kids on the ice crying to attend to all these little ones. That's a bit of a challenge, but we do our best.
I can imagine. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of coordination and keeping it all smiling and friendly. And I was watching you because you seem to be more all over the ice. You seem to be more in one spot with focused on.
I was teaching on my group, yeah. I'm assigned the group as well. So
Okay. But I guess Steve happened to be closer, and I could see that with everyone it's like a jovial, friendly, teasing kind of relationship.
Well, I find that they learn easier. Right? As long as they're on the ice and they're having fun, it's that whole concept, even though they're having fun, they're learning at the same time. And a lot of them don't realize that. Okay? So as long as they're walking, touching toes, and they're smiling, and they fall down, it's okay, you get up, and you move on. So if they don't do that, and that's where I think that we have a problem with the kids. As long as they have fun at the end of the day, and they're smiling.
Well, you have a problem with the kids, and you have a problem with the parents too, I suppose.
Yeah.
I imagine that parents, well, you pay good money to teach your kids anything these days, and you want them to learn probably more than just how to skate. Figure skating, that's a very popular sport in this country, but not too many of us learn how to do it. I certainly learned how to skate a straight line and crash into a board and work it just out.
it's definitely not for everyone.
Well, maybe if I started young enough, but I don't think...
You can come out any time, because the program is for little to old.
Okay, who's
We
going to
have-
carry me around?
We have, this year, Madame Louise is, I want to say, over 55,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know.
Mhm.
But I teach her, I work with her on Thursdays and Sundays. In years gone by, we have almost 6 adult skaters out there. So, honestly, you're never too old to start skating.
No.
Okay.
I may take you up on that.
And what we do is we try to find the right session, because we don't want to put you out there on an advanced session where, we have the bigger kids skating and doing the harder jumps, because you're not going to feel comfortable and they're not going to feel comfortable.
Right.
Okay? But by the same token, it's not appropriate to put you on a can skate session, okay? Because you learn the concepts, whether you can do them or not, you understand what we want out of you. But teaching an adult is much different than teaching a 3 or 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay? So we try to find the right session for you to learn on. So yes, absolutely, come on up.
Okay. I will. Now, if I do, I know I'm never going to make it to any of those superior levels. So to me, Francesca is a superior level. I mean, it's beautiful to see you skating there, and you do it with such ease, and well, all of you actually. Every one of you looks like you could just as soon be doing pirouettes on the ice as walking. Is it really as natural, as second nature as it seems, or it all requires tremendous concentration?
It does require concentration and coordination.
Okay. And how do you, how old are you? Is that me and Samuel?
11.
You're 11. So how did you handle the concentration part of it? Because you didn't think about it, okay, that makes sense.
They just go out and do it.
Because you watch everybody else doing it and...
With the right teaching techniques
Yeah.
With the time.
and practice and falling and getting up and falling and getting up.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a lot of dedication and motivation and support from everybody around.
Yeah.
And it's doable.
The hard part is that they have to learn to fall, but falling is learning. So once they start to understand that concept, then it's a little bit easier. Because we find a lot of skaters, especially the can skaters, they don't want to fall. right? Because they're either afraid of hurting themselves or they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
But it's only through doing some of these things that they actually learn. So falling is only natural to the sport, but you learn from it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
true. And I guess
She's come home with some gorgeous bruises. Okay.
and you don't have much padding to protect your bones with, no. Now, one of the kids that I interviewed, who will be shown in the show later on, she tells me that you're the one who did her program for her.
Yeah, I choreographed their solos.
That must be fun.
Sometimes it's kind of complicated sometimes because for competition they have required elements. You have to make sure they have those elements, and there's a time limit also, so you have to make sure that everything fits in that. Then you want them to have fun at the same time, so you need like fun stuff. So
Yeah, and those little skips there.
yes,
Yes, they do like fun. And I suppose you have to adapt it to their individual lives.
yes, that's for sure. You can't put like a slow skater to like a super fast music. You can't do that. You have to
No.
match the music to the skater.
Have you choreographed anything for your brothers?
No.
No, that's yeah, that's asking a little bit too much, isn't it?
Well, sometimes they don't always listen to the big sister, so it's a challenge.
Well, I have to say that on the ice, on those few occasions when I saw the interchanges between you and the kids and the boys, there seemed to be a lot of attentive, respectful listening. Was that just for show from the parents, or you really know that Dad knows what he's talking about? Mm-hmm. So it's a good idea to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you disagree, if you think, oh no, I can't do it, you've learned better, you don't argue. Sometimes you argue? All right.
Yeah, me
Because
too. These
sometimes you
are
know your body better than anybody else, eh? You know what you're capable of. Okay. That's a good thing for people to learn. What happens when you've got some skaters who excel? Is there something that you can do to help push them along, to help encourage them without making the others feel like they're less special?
That's a good question.
You just treat everyone the same.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Often we'll suggest that they skate a little bit more.
Yeah.
If they have the talent, the potential, we'll introduce them to more days of skating. Or we'll bring them in town for some spring skating, summer schools.
You bring them in town.
Yeah, because we don't have
You actually physically bring them to town?
no, we meet there.
Okay.
Our ice in Clarence finishes at the end of March.
Okay.
The arena takes down the ice. We have a spring school that we run at the new Clarence Rockland, but not all our skaters participate. So sometimes it's iffy if we're running one or not. This year we're running one only at 3 hours per week. So for a skater who's got a lot of potential, 3 hours a week is not enough.
No, I guess not.
So
It's a pretty much.
I sit down and talk with the parents, and they're going to come for a spring skate for additional hours should they come in town.
In ballet, there's this idea that so many young dancers' bodies are damaged by the rigors that they put them through. Does that happen also in skating?
We try not to, because we have equipment that the ballet kids don't have. We have, like when they're learning their jumps in the old days, when we did, we went out there, we went splat, we got back up and we kept doing it. Now we have what we call a harness. So there's a wire that runs across the ice. And we can put the kids into a harness and we can teach them those jumps so that they learn how to jump, but when they fall, it's a gentle fall. Okay? So there's less damage than like what we went through. We didn't have that technology or those things back then. So we just got to wipe out and we got to get up and try it again.
There's also bum pads that are available on the market that the kids can wear to help reduce the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm talking about kids who excel, I am thinking about your kids because they are unusually striking when they're on the ice. I wouldn't know how to rate them, but I think even as a layperson, I can see that they are special. Does that cause problems in the club? that your kids somehow seem to be just a little bit more talented than the average?
I would hope not. And I guess the only reason why you may think that is because they skate as much as they do. Okay, because we decided that if they want to skate for 4 days, 3 days a week, then that's what we do with them. It's a fine line, and it's a difficult line to cross when you're talking about coaching and pushing kids. Because some kids want to be pushed, and other kids just don't want to be pushed. And that's where we go to, whether they're listening to that, like you said earlier. Sometimes they listen because they want to, and we can see the potential in them, so then we get to push them. Okay? And those are the conversations we have with the parents as well, saying that, you know what, I think Susie, Mary, and Bobby all have the potential. I think we should skate a little bit more. I think we should push them a little bit more and get them more exposed in the competitions. Other skaters, we can see they have some potential, and then we push, but you can see when they reach their max. So there's no point pushing harder or farther because it's not going to happen. And then they lose the love for that sport. So the goal is to keep them. There's two sides to skating. There's the competitive side that you'll see, which you see on TV, okay, and then there's the, I'm going to call it the recreation side. We have local competitions. In the Ottawa area, we go across the border to Messina, okay, and they're local and they're fun competitions and they're good for the kids. But the competitive ones are the ones that can skate here, they move up to regionals, and they go up to Canadians. And that's the difference that we can see in the kids, and that's where the push happens.
Okay.
I think with the years of experience that we both have, we can see if a kid is there recreationally or if they want to compete and move on to maybe provincials and higher competitions.
Yeah.
So we get this, we can get the sense of if they're a skater that wants to skate for the pleasure of skating or if they want to skate because they mean business.
I imagine you might have had a few difficult conversations with some parents who want to push their children and yet you know that it wouldn't be right.
Well, my bottom line is I try to push the kids to the max that they can become the best of their abilities. And often we may think potential is there but not really there. But with extra lessons, extra time, you do achieve what they want to achieve.
And then the other thing that we do, or I do a little bit, I'm going to call it cheating, but because I'm a judge, I have contacts with other judges. So to get away from the biased opinion, I'll go out and ask some of the judges I know at competitions what they think about this child and whether they see the same potential that I saw. And then it just gets either corroborated which way we want to go, and then we bring that feedback to the coaches or to the parents. So it's not just, because figure skating is such a, what's the right word I want to use here? Your interpretation versus my interpretation of what's happening on the ice, okay? So when we see potential, it's because I'm looking for a certain thing, but other judges look for different elements in the sport. So I'd much rather have that whole look at what the skater group can bring, and then from there, we can also make that informed decision.
I know one young man who became a figure skater and went on to high-level competitions, and all I kept hearing from the parents was how incredibly expensive this is. So I guess if you are going to promote a kid to get to that level, you have to be pretty sure. It's a huge investment for the parents.
It is. It's not something you walk into blindly, okay? But by the same token, and this is a conversation we've had with other parents, if you have a child who's also very good at hockey, it's no less expensive in the end. Because the amount of ice that they have to put in, the equipment that they have to buy, as they go up through the ranks, they can't wear the same equipment that they would wear, playing hockey in Clarence Creek. If they're going to go and play with the 67s, it's different. The contact is much more physical, so they have to buy the right kind of equipment. The same with us. As we go up into the sport, and the more competitive we become, the better the equipment is, the better the dresses or the skating outfits. I can't say dresses for my boys, but the outfits that they're going to wear, they have to get more elaborate.
Yeah.
It gradually increases as they go through the program. Like your first pair of skates could be $110, but my daughter's pair of skates, that's a different story.
And depending, like Zaxxon did dance, so he has.
What about your skates?
He just got a new pair of skates. He skated yesterday for the first time with his new skates.
Yeah. Did you
He's
skate
Oh, it's dance boots, but
makes a difference?
He's into competitive dance, and it exists on the market, dance boots and dance blades. So he got his first pair of dance skates. And I saw a difference. Like just
Yep.
him skating a couple of hours yesterday, we could see that the toes pointed better, but I would hope so with the amount of money that we just invested in his skate. So hopefully he won't outgrow them before the boot is done.
Yeah, that growing phase, yeah.
They grow like weeds.
They do. Maybe if you stop feeding them, you don't really eat. No, it's just in your genes, you have to grow.
Yeah.
You have to get taller than those lovely girls that you get to skate with, eh? Because right now at about your age, they're taller than you. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Girls do grow
One of
faster.
these days you'll grow.
Yes. So Zaki, you're sitting there very silently. I feel like you're not getting a chance to say anything. Oh, look at him, he's smiling. He says what I want to say you don't want to hear. You enjoy this whole thing.
Yes.
It's, you find, you never feel that you're frustrated going to skate instead of sitting around doing something else. That's wonderful. That's, wow. So, for an 11-year, there aren't too many boys in the class. I guess you guys are the only boys that I've seen, which doesn't mean there haven't been others.
There are some other boys who can skate.
Mm-hmm.
There are, but most of them stick around for 2 years and then move on to hockey or other sports. But we do have 2 boys up at the end of can skate.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that they will stick around to become in the private lessons in the junior star skate program.
Well, definitely. I imagine the boys who go through it end up being better hockey players if that's what they switch to.
They do. They do. We have the program that is designed. Our can skate program is designed by the Skate Canada Association, and it shows them all sorts of techniques, maneuvers to help them with their hockey.
Okay. Because I know that the young man I mentioned earlier, he started out taking figure skating lessons to help him improve his hockey, and then was so smitten with the figure skating that he gave up hockey altogether and just went to figure skating.
That's a good choice.
It was for him. It certainly was for him.
But we have the ability, like, we don't know how to coach hockey. I'll say that right now. But we have the ability to look at how they skate. And that's what they need to understand, is how to do the proper pushes so they get the right momentum, forwards and backwards. After that, go off and play hockey. At least now you're solid on your feet. And I've heard that from several parents I've seen after they've gone through our program. They don't finish the program, they go through for a little bit until they think their child is ready enough, and then they go off to hockey. But they've always come back and said, you know what, my boy can skate, and if I look at him out there compared to the other ones, he's already way ahead of them.
So we've talked a little bit about the skating. I think we're going to break now, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about the proof in the pudding, such as Messina and all of the awards that you won there.
All right.
So we'll be right back after this break.
Informez-vous avec Jacques est une émission d'intérêt public à but non lucratif qui couvre tout ce qui se passe dans notre belle région de Clarence-Rockland. Animé par Jacques Tessier, sur place, il assemble entrevues avec des moments cocasses sur les organisations et événements qui se déroulent durant l'année. Jacques s'intéresse à vous et est là pour vous informer de ce qui se passe chez vous. Informez-vous avec Jacques à TVC22 ou sur Internet à www.tvc22.ca. La paroisse Très Sainte Trinité est heureuse de vous accueillir à la messe dominicale du dimanche à l'église Très Sainte Trinité de Rockland. Avec l'abbé Albert, vivez avec nous dans le confort de votre maison la célébration du Seigneur avec lecture, évangile, chant, Eucharistie et bénédiction. La messe dominicale à l'église Très Sainte Trinité à TVC22 ou encore sur Internet à www.tvc22.ca.
So here we have one of the club's partners, a young lady who came all the way from Orleans to partner with one of the young men to help him get a little bit ahead. You saw them skating and they're absolutely beautiful together. Vanessa?
Hello.
Hi. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been skating for 14 years.
14?
Competing for 7 years or so.
Does it leave time for anything else, or?
Yeah, some fun activities with friends sometimes on weekends.
Are there things that you're not allowed to do so that you don't hurt that wonderful body of yours and that terrific technique?
Well, sometimes before competitions I don't want to do too much to injure myself or try something new, so I usually take it easy.
Okay. And this is something that you still enjoy, because competition can be pretty tough in figure skating.
Yeah, it's stressful sometimes and I get nervous, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It keeps me going.
And things like this, I guess, are extra fun because there's no pressure, there's just the fun.
Partnering I love to do. It's fun.
So is it tough to learn all the routines? They must get pretty complicated sometimes.
The higher dances they do.
Mm-hmm.
Lower dances are easier. They have less steps, and I remember them.
You remember. And the music, do you get to choose?
For competition routines, yes.
Yeah.
Often the coaches have their input and they know what they want us to skate to, but we have the final decision if we like it or not.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you've got a mom behind you and a whole family? Or yeah. I guess it takes a whole village to keep you going. Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to watching you. It's so great to see a figure skater like you right in person.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is Jamie.
You're Jamie. You're one of the moms?
Yes.
But you used to be a skater too, right?
I am actually. My father was a skater and I was a figure skater and then a speed skater and now my daughter skates.
Wow, that's quite a tradition to keep up. What pressure on her. But I understand she loves it.
She does love it. She always has, yes, since she first started.
So you're encouraging her to do this for fun or just to find out if she's going to be a coach like your dad?
I'm really encouraging her to find experiences and things that she can fall in love with, and so I've actually opened her up to a lot of different things, and skating is one of the things that she's really fallen in love with.
Well said. You're a lucky girl, Sahara. Well, here we are, and we're getting ready for the skating demonstration. Were you in Messina last weekend?
Yes, I was.
Yes, so you're all warmed up and relaxed for this.
Yeah.
Now, would you like to tell the camera and the people watching what your name is?
My name is Megan.
You're Megan.
Yeah.
And how old are you, Megan?
I'm 11.
You're 11. How long have you been skating?
This is my 4th year.
This is your 4th year, and this is something that you're doing because you love it?
Yes.
Yes. Have you been finding that it's taking up more and more of your life?
Yeah.
As you get better and better?
Yeah.
You have something to show for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself doing other things besides skating to make yourself a better skater?
I go home and I stretch and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So do you like the dancing part of it?
Yeah.
And do you find that sometimes you're a little bit nervous?
Yeah, at the first performance, yes.
Yeah. And do you fall a lot?
During big jumps, yes.
Yeah. But you're not scared, you just got over it.
No.
Good for you. Wow. Well, Megan, it's going to be fun watching you because you seem to have such a happy smile. It's got to be a good performance.
Thank you.
And thank you, my dear. So would you like to tell the TV audience your name?
My name is Sahara.
And how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
And how long have you been skating?
I'd say about 5 years, I think.
5 years. And your last weekend in Messina was a nice experience?
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
And today's the last day of the season, so you get to show off and relax.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So do you find that you've been doing a lot of exercises to get better at your skating?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of exercises and stuff.
Yeah. And you're ready to do it again next season?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. You never know. It's a long way away, right? Well, I hope you have a really great time today, and I thank you in advance for the great show you're going to give us.
Thanks.
What's your name, please?
Bianca.
Bianca? Oh, golly, that's a beautiful name. I've always loved that name. So, Bianca, how old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
And how long have you been skating?
8 years.
8 years? Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to see what you're going to perform. How did you do in Messina?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? So I guess you're not nervous at all. This is just going to be a fun time to show off your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning to come back next year?
Of course.
Of course. This is part of your life now. Well, I think that it's wonderful that you found something that you're good at and that you love. And oh my goodness, I wish I'd found something like that when I was a kid. So you're going to be thinking of being a professional dancer, or this is all for fun?
I want to be a professional one.
Okay. So we're going to be sure to have the camera on you during this performance. All right, Bianca, thank you so much. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
So, sweetheart, what's your name?
Julie.
Julie, and how old are you?
12.
12, and Julie, you're little.
And you don't have your skates on yet. Of course, you'd be bigger if you had your skates on. So how long have you been skating?
About 5 years.
5 years? And you love doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you did a good job in Messina too? Yes?
Yeah.
So you're here to have a nice fun time.
Yeah, I am.
Do you have a special number that you're going to just perform for?
It's my solo.
My soul?
My solo.
Your solo. Okay. And are you thinking of performing as a professional?
No.
No, this is just for fun for you? It's a wonderful way of exercising, isn't it? And making some good friends?
Yeah, it is.
And what a great club, eh? Aren't the instructors wonderful?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really nice.
Oh. Well, thank you so much for talking to the camera, and I know you're not going to regret it because someday you're going to see yourself on there, and so will all your friends. Good luck and have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nous voici de retour et on va continuer le programme un peu en français parce qu'il semblerait que la majorité des membres du club, des étudiants du club, sont des francophones. Ça approche vers l'égalité maintenant, mais on voulait laisser savoir à la population que le club fonctionne dans les 2 langues et qu'il n'y a aucune difficulté de ce point de vue-là. Alors, il y a 2 semaines déjà, je pense que vous êtes allé à Messina, à New York, pour
2 semaines.
2 semaines, 3 semaines,
2 semaines.
oui, pour une compétition et le club s'est très bien présenté, semblerait-il.
Oui, nous
Alors,
avons-
vantez-vous s'il vous plaît.
Il y a 12 patineurs au niveau Star Skate qui se sont inscrits, qui ont participé à cette compétition. La majorité de ces 12 patineurs-là ont participé à plus qu'un événement. Et puis, tous sont revenus avec une médaille, et même plus qu'une. On a même gagné le club ayant le trophée de première place pour le club ayant gagné le plus de médailles. Avec combien de points?
122.
122 points pour nous. Le deuxième club, c'était
80.
Point Claire, je crois.
92.
92 points.
92, puis 88 avec Messina.
Bon, ça c'est de quoi être fier.
Très, très.
Puis c'est la 3e année?
C'est la 3e année qu'on remporte le trophée de première place. Et puis, on a 2 autres trophées
Deuxième place.
de 2e place aussi.
Alors, Star Skate, je connais Can Skate,
Oui.
et maintenant j'entends Star Skate.
Star Skate, c'est après le Can Skate.
Ah
Une
d'accord.
fois que tu as fini le Can Skate, tu t'en vas au Star Skate. Et puis, c'est plus du patinage artistique. C'est là qu'ils vont commencer à sauter, pirouetter, faire les 3 disciplines, l'habilité de patinage, le style libre et la danse.
Et c'est quelque chose qui est... c'est pour certains groupes d'âge ou bien
Non,
c'est un mélange d'âge?
c'est un mélange d'âge. C'est plus par habileté.
Ok.
Aussitôt que tu peux avoir fini ton programme de Can Skate, tu as 4 ans, 5 ans. Tu peux le
Et,
finir à 10 ans. C'est tout personnel au développement de chaque enfant.
et vous étiez dans le Star Skate? Oui. J'imagine que toi, Francesca. Toi aussi?
Ouais.
Non. Ah, j'aurais pensé que
Can
tu serais
Skate?
déjà...
Non, il faut que tu commences à chanter.
Non, mais Star Skate.
Oh oui, je suis dans Star Skate en ce moment.
Ah oui, j'aurais pensé que tu aurais déjà dépassé ça.
Non, Star Skate, c'est juste tout le monde après.
Ah, tout ce qui vient après,
Ouais.
d'accord.
Tu as le competitive skate
Oui.
qu'elle a fait quand elle était un peu plus jeune.
Ok.
Tu as 2 streams.
Mhm.
Tu as le Star Skate et le competitive skate. Puis le Star Skate, ça inclut tout le monde
Ok, ok.
qui font du patin artistique.
Alors techniquement, vous deux, vous êtes Star Skate aussi.
Oui.
Seulement tu ne patines plus, là.
Exactement.
Ah, tu t'es blessée.
Quand j'étais plus jeune, oui, j'ai eu un désalignement du bassin du dos.
Ah,
Pelvis misalignment.
ah.
Et puis il a fallu que je lâche de patiner.
Bon.
Et c'est là qu'on a commencé à enseigner.
Oui,
Pour rester
et toujours
impliqué
de
dans le
notre
sport.
moyen, c'est vrai, c'est vrai. Et donc, votre club, c'est vous, Mais il y a aussi d'autres membres de l'exécutif?
Oui, c'est sûr. Le club, c'est un club à but non lucratif, géré par des bénévoles. Et puis, nous en sommes 2 parmi 4 autres. Fait que oui, c'est beaucoup de bénévoles qui gèrent le club.
Okay.
Puis de là, il y a des entraîneurs qui sont engagés pour enseigner les programmes à notre club.
Alors, lorsque tu dis non but lucratif, ça veut dire que les tarifs sont simplement pour payer pour la glace, l'assurance?
C'est ça.
Oui, puis les frais des coachs. Le problème de patinage plus can't skate, les frais de la glace puis les frais des coachs, tout inclus dans le prix.
D'accord.
Mais tu montes dans Star Skate, c'est là où que toi, comme un parent, tu vas juste payer pour la glace puis tu vas payer un coach à part pour les leçons de ta jeune.
OK. Et ça peut coûter cher, hein, les coachs, d'après ce que j'entends.
Ça se peut, mais j'espère que les coachs dans le club, ils gardent ça en considération que c'est pas une région où tu demandes une forme de 200-300 000 par année puis ils peuvent monter les prix. Okay? C'est pas Toronto, nous autres.
Non.
OK? So, on essaie de garder ça en tête là, quand on fait les prix.
On essaie d'offrir des leçons semi-privées, des leçons de groupe. On regroupe 2-3 patineurs qui sont du même calibre pour offrir des leçons qui coûtent un peu moins cher.
OK. Bon, alors, retournons à la question de jeunes en famille. Est-ce que, pour vous, ce serait permis, par exemple, d'aller faire du patin sur le canal? Ou est-ce que c'est trop dangereux pour vous de patiner sur quelque chose d'aussi non réglementé? Est-ce que vous faites du patin sur le canal?
La première chose, oui, on peut faire du patin, mais on ne porterait pas nos patins.
D'accord.
Comme Francesca est allée à plusieurs reprises cet hiver sur le canal, et puis elle a porté mes patins que je porte, mes patins de hockey que je porte pour enseigner le power skating.
OK. Et puis, bon, vous êtes allé sur le canal aussi? Non. Alors, quand tu vas sur le canal, est-ce que tu dois te restreindre, te retenir, de faire des pirouettes?
Oui, je suis en train de hockey, fait que je ne peux pas vraiment, là, mais je pense que c'est stable, ces patins-là.
S'ils y allaient avec leurs propres patins, il faudrait les refaire affûter aussitôt qu'on revienne, parce que la glace, puis comment rough que la glace allait sur le canal, défait tout le filage qu'on a sur notre lame.
C'est très délicat.
Oui.
Alors, la raison pour laquelle j'ai pensé à ça, c'est que j'ai connu il y a bien des années une femme qui était assez vieille, qui faisait du patin artistique lorsqu'elle était jeune, et on lui avait interdit de faire du ski quand elle était jeune parce qu'elle pouvait se faire mal. Alors c'est à l'âge de 75 ans, je pense, qu'elle a appris à faire du ski. Elle était vraiment tenace, elle était déterminée. Et puis elle en a fait, et puis elle était folle sur les pentes aussi.
C'est sûr que quand tu es un candidat à gagner, à poursuivre au championnat Challenge, puis au Canadien, c'est sûr que tu fais seulement du patin artistique. Il y a tellement d'autres sortes de conditionnements que tu fais à part de ça que tu essaies de minimiser tes chances de te blesser.
C'est certain. Et puis c'est compréhensible aussi parce qu'il y a seulement 24 heures dans la journée. Il faut dormir un certain nombre d'heures, faire des études un certain nombre d'heures. Alors, combien de choses on peut faire? Il faut vraiment aimer ça.
Oui.
Et vous aimez vraiment ça, d'une façon. Et ça c'est vraiment un accomplissement que vous gardez la famille ensemble comme ça, à passer tant d'heures ensemble, à aimer la même chose. Alors, c'est extraordinaire. J'espère que vous ne prenez pas ça pour acquis. Hein. C'est vraiment quelque chose qu'on ne voit pas souvent quand les gens peuvent faire ça. Souvent, justement, nous, on a acheté une maison à quelqu'un qui disait « Ah oui, elle a grandi sur une ferme et elle ne voulait jamais que ses enfants grandissent sur une ferme parce qu'il y a bien trop de travail à faire. » Ça doit prendre le cœur quand même aux parents quand ça arrive. Alors, bon, vous faites ça pendant les mois d'hiver et pendant l'été, vous ne faites pas de patin du tout?
Oui puis non. En septembre, ça commence quand l'aréna de Clarence ouvre.
Oui.
Et puis, ça se poursuit jusqu'à la fin mars avec un petit peu de patinage réduit à 3-4 heures par semaine durant le printemps. Et l'été, les jumeaux et Francesca prennent l'été de congé. Zachary doit continuer à s'entraîner, vu que lui, il fait de la danse compétitive. Les qualificatifs pour lui, c'est en novembre. Donc, la saison est un peu renversée pour les patineurs au compétitif versus les patineurs au star skate récréatif. Là. Donc, la saison la plus occupée pour lui, c'est l'été.
D'accord. Alors toi, tu as la chance au moins d'être dans un endroit bien frais quand le reste d'entre nous, on est chaud.
Des fois, c'est difficile de sortir de la piscine pour aller patiner.
Ah oui, j'imagine. Et puis, mais quand même, dans la famille, elle fait des choses différentes en été, alors ça change un peu d'atmosphère.
Les jumeaux sont dans le soccer compétitif.
OK.
Et Francesca aussi a fait du soccer compétitif.
C'est vrai? Oui. Dark-moi.
Et puis maintenant, on a une roulotte, donc on fait du camping.
Ah, ça c'est bien. Et on amène le chat?
Non. Elle reste ici.
Elle se débrouille. Alors Zachary, toi, tu fais la danse, tu aimes... Qu'est-ce qui te plaît le plus dans la danse?
Je sais pas.
La musique?
Non, c'est juste que c'est fun.
C'est fun, oui.
La compagnie, je crois.
Tu le fais moins mal.
Et je pense qu'il y a deux sortes de danse, que l'un où tu touches ton partenaire, tu tiens ton partenaire, l'autre où tu ne tiens pas.
Ben,
je sais pas quels sont les mots.
Genre, il y en a un, tu peux lever la partenaire plus haut que l'autre. Puis,
ah oui?
Comme il y a des pairs, puis comme la danse-danse. Sur la danse-danse, c'est plutôt comme de la danse, tu fais comme une routine.
Ah, il y a danse et il y a pairs.
Ouais.
N'est-ce pas? Ok, oui, c'est ça. Et puis, quand est-ce que tu t'es rendu compte que tu aimais ça?
Oh, je sais pas. Quand ma mère m'a mis dedans avec une de mes autres partenaires, il y a 3 ans, 4 ans? Il y a 4 ans, ça fait 4 ans, puis j'aime ça.
Ah oui, tu es très beau, je t'ai vu.
Merci.
Une fois, ça fait beau de voir ça. Ça fait beau de voir tous ces corps tellement droits. Tu sais, la première fois que je suis allée à une de vos pratiques, je suis sortie de là et je jure que je me tenais beaucoup plus droite. Pendant au moins une semaine. Ça fait bien. Mon Dieu, les gens se tiennent pas bien normalement, il faut dire. Et puis, lorsque je t'ai vu à la dernière où tu es venue pour t'assouplir le dos un peu, tu t'es courbée en arrière. Non, ça, j'ai pas essayé. That comes with warnings. Don't try this at home. Alors, le sommet pour des jeunes comme ça qui ne veulent pas faire la compétition, c'est s'ils veulent continuer, c'est quelque chose comme Ice Plate ou je ne sais même pas si ça existe encore. Si on aime tellement.
Ben, pour faire le Ice Capades, aujourd'hui, c'est. Je me souviens plus du nom.
Disney anglais, c'est des comme ça.
Il faut que tu sois quand même assez élevé en tant que. Ils n'engageront pas des jeunes qui n'ont pas de quoi à montrer sur la patinoire.
Il faut montrer les trophées, les médailles.
Non, c'est plus pour être capable de faire les pirouettes, puis les sauts, puis les. Tu sais, si tu vas faire des simples, des sauts simples, tu passeras pas l'audition. Il faut que tu sois quand même assez haut qualifié, des doubles, des triples, pour tenir l'audience captivée.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Mais il n'y a pas juste la compétition dans le Star Skate, il y a des tests. L'association de patinage Skate Canada a plusieurs épreuves que les patineurs peuvent essayer. Et puis il y en a qui sont là, c'est juste les tests qu'ils veulent faire, ils ne veulent pas faire de compétition, eux autres, puis c'est bien, c'est correct, c'est leur choix, c'est ce qui les rend heureux. Donc, on est là pour leur montrer qu'est-ce qu'ils veulent apprendre.
C'est ça. Et puis, est-ce qu'on leur donne des devoirs? Est-ce qu'il faut faire certains exercices à la maison?
Ben, c'est sûr que ça serait intéressant si tous les patineurs faisaient leur conditionnement hors glace, mais il faut s'entendre que ça n'arrive pas toujours.
Non, c'est difficile.
La flexibilité a beaucoup d'importance dans le monde du patin. Et puis, plus flexible que tu es, plus d'opportunités que tu peux avoir à faire certaines choses que d'autres n'ont pas la capacité de faire. Comme par exemple, Léa vous a démontré, je suis certaine, ce qu'on appelle le Y, où elle pointe sa jambe, elle l'amène jusqu'à son oreille quasiment. Là.
Oui.
Fait qu'elle elle est très flexible, cette petite-là, et puis ses avions sont superbes, aussi flexibles d'une jambe que de l'autre jambe.
Alors ça, c'est quelque chose d'unique.
Oui, ben unique, non. Il y en a plusieurs qui sont capables de le faire, mais il faut que tu travailles pour être capable de le faire. Comme mes gars, ils ne sont pas flexibles comme ça. C'est beau si la jambe, elle lève un peu plus haut que les fesses, mais avec du travail hors glace, ça peut s'arriver.
Oui, ça peut s'améliorer. Il faut voir ça. Il faut y donner le temps. 1 millimètre? Tu peux augmenter d'1 millimètre?
Non.
Augmenter ta flexibilité d'1 millimètre? C'est déjà quelque chose. Mais les gars, ils n'ont pas besoin d'être aussi flexibles que les filles. Aussi, oui.
Ils sont supposés, mais on sait qu'ils vont le voir. Il y a un couple de gars qui sont capables.
Ouais.
OK, mais la majorité, ils arrivent à certains points.
OK.
Parce que physiquement, ils ne sont pas capables de lever à cause des anges, puis comment en fait, ils ne sont pas capables de faire comme les filles devraient être capables de faire.
Alors, c'est pas simplement une question de devoir se faire des gros biceps pour pouvoir soulever leur partenaire quand ils dansent ou des choses comme ça.
Il faut qu'ils soient traînés au complet le corps. Tu ne peux pas juste faire le bras, juste les jambes, le corps au complet. Parce que dans la danse, parce que moi, quand je faisais comme ça, en danse, on ne faisait pas ce que lui fait. Moi, j'étais plus vieux que lui.
Ça l'a beaucoup évolué depuis son temps.
Ouais.
Parce que moi, quand je faisais pas les lifts du tout. Lui, il tient sa partenaire sur 2 pieds, puis il penche, puis il lève complètement la glace. Les autres étaient toujours sur la glace. Je faisais pas une spin avec rien.
Okay.
So, il faut qu'ils soient tout en shape à ça.
Ouais. Ça devient un beau spécimen quand ça continue comme ça. Bon, alors, les jumeaux, ils ont l'intention de continuer? Ça ferait du patin ensemble peut-être? Un numéro différent? Ben non, ce serait qu'est-ce que c'est? Comment on appelle ça quand ils font la même chose? Synchronized skating?
Ah oui,
synchronisé. Que les gens ne sauraient pas s'ils regardent à droite à gauche.
Non, ils ne patinent pas ensemble.
Non,
ils ne font pas ça.
Non. Et puis ils sont probablement tannés d'être taquinés pour être des jumeaux. Alors je regrette d'avoir dit ça.
Vous aviez aussi une petite partenaire.
Oui.
Et puis, tu sembles aimer ça.
Non.
Bon, là, il aime ça.
Tu préfères danser?
Attends, tu parles de quoi, là?
Tu danses avec Cass?
Juste les paddlements?
Oui.
Ok, oui.
Oui, ok.
Là, il voit son frère faire des pirouettes ensemble et faire des lifts. Non, Zachary. Et puis, je pense qu'il n'est pas sûr encore. Cassandra, elle a l'air à voir. Elle a l'air d'avoir aimé ça. Zachary a essayé un de ses lifts avec Cassandra.
Oui.
Et puis, elle a bien aimé ça. Lui, c'est un petit peu, il est moins certain de lui-même. Et là, ben, lui a décidé, Samuel a décidé que peut-être que ça serait intéressant d'essayer ça, de faire la danse en couple.
Oui.
Donc, ce printemps, on va commencer avec une petite partenaire.
Oui, il s'agit de trouver quelqu'un avec qui tu es.
Oh, c'est déjà trouvé.
C'est déjà trouvé.
Oui.
Ouais. Et puis, la dernière chose, les médailles. Vous en avez beaucoup.
Oui.
Vous aimez ça?
Oui.
Oui. Alors, ça se sent comme une récompense? Oui.
Non seulement pour eux, mais pour moi aussi en tant qu'entraîneur, ça doit être parce que je leur montre quelque chose qui est bien.
You're doing it right.
I'm doing it right.
At so many levels. At so many levels. I really have to say, and maybe I sound like I'm fawning, but I'm absolutely bowled over by what I see going on in this family and in your club. And I don't know technically whether you're doing it right or wrong. I can judge by the trophies and the medals that you've got. But I like what I feel when I'm there. I feel relaxed and I feel happy. And I know each time I was there filming, as cold as I was grinning ear to ear because it was so nice to see what was going on. So I really, hats off to you. You've done a beautiful job. And you might take it for granted and you might think there's no story there, but there's a story there. And it's a beautiful one. And I'm so glad that we got it on tape so that people can watch it and you can watch it years from now when Mommy and Daddy are sitting there in their wheelchair going, oh, I used to really want to do that. And your kids are running. So thank you so much, Whitaker family.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci. No problem. No problem.
Il m'en manque un, moi, avec, là.
Ah, c'est moi qui l'ai.
Ah,
non.
Oh, 71. Oh, 71.
Hey, si tu jouerais, ça irait bien mieux.
Je sais pas compter. I30.
Bingo! 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 Bingo!
C'est bon.
Le TV Bingo, en direct du studio TVC22, tous les dimanches 19h15 sur TVC22 ou sur Internet au www.tvc22.ca.
Alors nous voici de nouveau, ma chère. Ça fait quelques semaines qu'on s'est parlé la première fois. Tu es Léa et tu as quel âge?
10 ans.
10 ans et tu fais ça depuis l'âge de 2 ans?
3.
3 ans, depuis l'âge de 3 ans. Oh mon Dieu, ça va faire une belle performance, hein?
Oui.
Tu as toujours hâte. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes le plus avec le patin? Les sauts, les pirouettes?
Les sauts.
Les sauts, oui. Tu n'as pas peur?
Non.
Non? Tu n'as pas peur de tomber, hein?
Non.
Non. Tu t'es remis tellement de fois que ça ne te fait rien. Oui. Et mon Dieu, le maquillage est beau, les cheveux sont beaux, ça brille, il y a des petites étincelles dans les cheveux. C'est amusant ça, hein?
Oui.
Oui. C'est maman qui te décore comme ça?
Oui, elle a mis des gants.
Oui, et ça t'aide à patiner mieux? Non? Qu'est-ce qui t'aide à patiner mieux? Les exercices que tu fais, la pratique régulière, oui?
Oui.
Oui. Et puis tu fais attention à ce que tu manges aussi?
Oui.
Oui, pas tellement. Alors tu vas revenir l'année prochaine, je pense, hein?
Oui, l'année prochaine.
Oui, si tu peux. En été, tu ne patines pas.
Non, le printemps, l'automne, on peut prendre des sessions et tout le long de l'année.
Et tu aimes bien... Pardon?
Sauf l'été.
Sauf l'été. Et tu aimes bien le club? Tu aimes bien tes instructeurs?
Oui.
Oui.
Et mes amis.
Oh, moi, je les aime tous aussi. OK. Ben, merci, Léa. Et puis, on va avoir la caméra sur toi. On va faire de la belle danse pour nous, OK?
OK, merci.
OK, bye-bye. Bonjour. Je vais me descendre un peu, comme ça. Voilà. Tu as l'avantage. Alors, moi, je m'appelle Kat et je voulais savoir comment toi, tu t'appelles.
Claudia.
Claudia. Tu as l'air très confiante, Claudia.
Oui.
Ça fait quelques années que tu fais du patin déjà?
Oui.
Oui. Combien d'années?
Je suis pas sûre.
T'es pas sûre? Ça fait au moins 2 ans?
Plus.
Plus, oui. Tu te sens très à l'aise sur la glace?
Oui.
C'est avec le club de Clarence Creek que tu as appris?
Oui.
Oui. Alors, tu fais des pirouettes, tu sautes?
Oui.
Oui. Et tu es toute jolie et toute à l'aise. Mon Dieu, j'ai hâte de voir ça. Tu vas faire un solo?
Oui.
Oui? Bon. Et quelle est ta musique, sais-tu?
C'est des fées.
Les fées?
Ouais.
OK. Alors, tu ressembles bien à une fée. Ça, c'est bien choisi. Alors, merci. On va te regarder.
Oui.
Oui? Amuse-toi.
Merci.
OK. Bye bye. Et bonjour, toi. Comment tu t'appelles?
Daphné.
Daphné, je sais lire. Maintenant, j'apprends que je sais déterminer comment vous vous appelez. Alors toi, quel âge as-tu, Daphné?
11 ans.
Tu as 11 ans et ça fait combien d'années que tu fais ça?
2 ans.
2 ans? Oh, mon Dieu, t'es courageuse! Oh, ça fait beaucoup de travail, hein? Oui.
Ouais.
Beaucoup de pratique? Oui. Est-ce que tu dansais avant de faire du patin?
Non.
Non? Tu penses que ça t'aurait aidé?
Peut-être.
Oui. Est-ce que tu fais de la danse maintenant pour t'améliorer?
Non.
Non? Alors tu as appris avec le club de Clarence Creek? Oui. Oui. Et puis tu n'as pas peur de tomber, toi non plus? Non. Mon Dieu que c'est des jeunes courageux. Moi, c'est la première chose qui me vient à l'esprit. Non, je ne suis pas tombée. Bon, ben Daphné, j'espère que tu vas t'amuser et on a hâte de voir ta performance.
Merci.
Bye-bye. And this is one of the owners, one of the coach's sons who has been exposed to this a little bit more than the others. What's your name?
Samuel.
Samuel. So the ice is second nature for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you one of those who feels like you learned to skate before you learned to walk?
Don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, I guess it's a good guess then. So this is your whole life, isn't it? Not only skating for yourself, but teaching others?
Yeah.
It's a whole beautiful family affair.
Yeah.
Ah, Samuel, I've seen you skate. You're beautiful.
Thanks.
Is it scary sometimes?
Sometimes, not always.
No, but you give it your all, right?
Yeah.
You don't hold back because you might be a little nervous about falling?
No.
No. Courageous. So do you train at home in any other ways for the skating?
No.
No. This is it. When you come here, that's your training and you're performing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. How old are you?
11.
11. And I guess you've got a few more years that you can do this, eh?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm really looking forward to following your career. Do you think you're going to be professional someday?
Don't know.
Don't know. You might be an instructor someday?
Maybe.
Maybe. I like that, you know? Nothing predetermined. Leave it to chance. Take each day as it comes. Good for you, Samuel. I'm really looking forward to watching you skate again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Hello, you're Hannah. I now know that it's written on your jackets and I don't need to ask you. How old are you, Hannah?
I'm 12.
And how long have you been doing this?
6 years.
6 years. You must be pretty comfortable on the ice, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this something that you miss in the summertime?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful to hear that. You love the music?
Yes.
And the pirouettes?
Yes.
Yes. And who comes up with your dance routine?
Francesca.
Francesca. Wow. She's a good teacher, isn't she? She's so nice.
Yes.
Yes. So you've made friends here in the club?
Yes.
And your instructors are so good? So everything to inspire you to keep getting better and better.
Yes.
Oh, Hannah, that's wonderful to hear. Well, I hope you have a great time. You had a good time in Messina? Yes? You did well?
Yes.
All right. All that hard work really pays off, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I hope you have a great time, and we're going to be watching you.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Le GF Show, c'est quoi?
Bienvenue au GF Show, c'est un tout nouveau TV show, on m'a dit. Ah ouais, voici, let's go! Je sais pas si vous allez me trouver pas. Bienvenue tout le monde au GF Show, c'est un tout nouveau TV show. Vous allez voir, je suis pas que numéro. On va avoir du fun, oh ouais, go! Bienvenue tout le monde.
Le GF Show, c'est de l'humour, c'est de l'entertainment, du divertissement, des sketchs, des parodies, des conneries, des observations, des chroniques et j'en passe. Le GF Show, c'est tout! C'est n'importe quoi! C'est pour vous autres, c'est à TVC22 puis c'est là. Ne le manquez pas!
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue au GF Show.